There are countless ways of looking at Europe, sketching its contours, picturing its boundaries. While a painter gives free rein to his imagination, striving to project his own personal vision of Europe onto a canvas, somewhere, on the ground, people are rediscovering pieces of history in search of their roots. Far from the official forums of the major European institutions, 29 cultural routes have been set up since 1987 in 50 countries across the continent, focused on discovering the other as part of implementing the fundamental values of the Council of Europe: human rights, democracy, diversity and cultural identity, across borders and across the centuries.
These routes include the Hansa and one of its emblematic cities, Lübeck. Over time, what had started off as a straightforward network of German merchants developed into an impressive league of cities that for several centuries exercised power and control over trade and markets in the Baltic region. Thanks to the Hanseatic cities' trading, precious goods found their way into Europe from the north and east of the continent. The Hanseatic League, which some see as the forerunner of the European Union, is today a unique network of 176 major towns and cities spread across 16 countries, many of them on the UNESCO World Heritage List.
Nine centuries ago, Robert de Molesme founded the new monastery of Cîteaux, based on the holy rule of St. Benedict. Ora et labora, pray far from the world and live from the work of your own hands. Starting in Burgundy in 1098, the Cistercian order rapidly spread across Europe, creating 750 monasteries and 1,000 convents. The European route of Cistercian abbeys is a tribute to this exceptional heritage.
Among the finest pages of history written by the monks of Cîteaux was the one on wine. Although the Vineyard Trail sponsored by the Council of Europe obviously take in Burgundy and the famous Clos Vougeot, they now crisscross 18 countries, from the Atlantic to the Caucasus, from the Mediterranean to the Baltic, telling how the alchemy of wine has modelled Europe's landscapes, drawing on often centuries-old know-how and combining histories, tiny or epic, with more unforgettable vintages. Nowadays, thanks to wine tourism, over 20 million visitors a year discover the places and cultures epitomising the civilization of wine, and often celebrate.
Par Bacchus, dieu du vin, et par Saint Vincent, patron des vignerons, c'est un grand plaisir et un honneur aussi de vous armer, Madame Chevalier du Tanneau.
Like the vine, the olive tree has marked both the landscapes and the everyday lives of the Mediterranean peoples. This mythical tree is sacred to all three of the monotheistic religions and is closely associated with their rites and customs. The olive tree routes were inaugurated in 1998 and are voyages of discovery created around this tree, a universal symbol of peace, reconciliation and dialogue. They involve cultural events and a variety of activities designed to highlight the history of this invaluable tree and also the numerous products derived from it, which stimulate economies based on local enterprises against a background of sustainable development.
Mozart is usually associated with the cities of Vienna, Salzburg and Prague. A less well-known fact is that with the connivance of his brilliant librettist, Lorenzo da Ponte, he drew a great deal of his inspiration from Venice when writing Don Giovanni, which is a nod to another mythical character, Casanova, who played a major role in the composition of this opera. The Mozart ways crossed the towns, cities and regions of 10 countries in which Mozart resided during his lifetime, and offer an innovative approach, enabling his works and his life to be rediscovered through a wide range of artistic, educational and tourist activities.
Some routes are more difficult, requiring determination and a good deal of energy. But Lorette, whom we encountered climbing the Great St. Bernard Pass, is afraid of nothing, not even the snow falling on this first day of June.
En Suisse, c'est marqué comme ça, et quand c'est bien Francigena, c'est le petit bonhomme.
Today, she has abandoned her medical practice to walk in the footsteps of the Archbishop of Canterbury, who travelled to Rome in the year 990 to meet Pope John XV. The 79 stops noted in the Archbishop's travel diary made it possible to piece together the main staging points along this route, which was first mentioned as the Via Francigena in 876. A little further on, just north of Turin, another pilgrim is heading for Rome.
J'ai fait 3 pèlerinages dans ma vie. J'ai fait Compostelle pour l'année sainte en 2010, du 2 juillet au 2 septembre, à Fisterra, Santiago Fisterra. Et là je fais Rome. Et puis, dans une année à venir, je pense faire Jérusalem. Je marche pour ceux qui ne peuvent peut-être pas marcher. Je marche pour ma femme qui va se faire opérer des pieds, en plus, qui ne marche pas beaucoup maintenant. Voilà, j'ai beaucoup de temps à donner.
With a total length of 1,800 kilometres, the Via Francigena sometimes intersects with other thematic routes, such as the Transromanica, the Romanesque route, which takes in 8 different countries lying between the Baltic and the Mediterranean, inviting visitors to discover the churches, castles, cathedrals and monasteries of the Middle Ages.
Thermalism has left its mark on Europe from ancient times to the present day. The most famous sites emerged during the 19th century in 11 or so countries and developed highly distinctive architectural styles, along with new medical practices stemming from the qualities of the waters. Whether for taking care of one's liver or lungs, just relaxing, or trying to get fit, thermalism is very much alive and kicking. As it is here in Spa, in Belgium, which was the first town to export its waters as far back as the 16th century. Here, 3 different mineral waters from mountainside springs share the limelight. They are called Clémentine, Reine and Marie-Henriette. While these stars carry on with their show before being distributed worldwide, others prefer simply to enjoy the relaxing properties of water.
Proud Andalusia, a land of fire and dreams, is also a special setting for intercultural dialogue. The roots of El Legado Andalusi link the cultures of Europe, the Arab countries and South America, attesting to the historical role played by Spain and Andalusia throughout the ages. The routes are designed to promote cultural and rural tourism, the traditional arts, the historical heritage, and artistic and cultural events, providing a practical demonstration of the influence of Arab culture in the West and the contribution made by it.
Remembrance takes pride of place among the broad themes represented by the cultural routes, and it also takes in human labour and industrial activity. Based in the town of Leoben, with its university for mining and metallurgy, the Iron Trail in Central Europe goes through the Donawitz steelworks region. The trail tells the story of iron and its miners through the ages, including the celebration of St. Barbara's Day on December the 4th every year. St. Barbara is the patron saint of miners. Ever since the Middle Ages, believers have ascribed to her the power of protecting them from a violent death.
In the Middle Ages, pilgrims had an exceptional cultural experience. They discovered unfamiliar customs, languages and ways of life, and returned home with a breadth of knowledge that was rare at a time when long journeys exposed the traveller to considerable danger. For today's Santiago pilgrims, the journey, the landscapes and the encounters en route are as enriching as the aim of the trip itself. Whether believers or not, whether Christians or not, there are many who have journeyed together or met up along these pilgrim trails to Galicia.
Es ist eine Station, aber es sieht aus wie ein Ziel und man ist zielgeil. Wichtig ist, dass man weitergeht, aber es ist eine ganz wichtige Station, denn sie gibt Kraft, weiterzugehen.
Since 1988, the memory of these fragments of Europe has been stored in Luxembourg. The European Institute of Cultural Roots is based here in the exceptional setting of an old abbey. It is responsible for ensuring both the continuation of these unusual roots and the development of new ones. More often than not, regardless of the final goal, what matters is the means of attaining this goal. All the lessons learnt and the mixing of cultures, improving our understanding of Europe's wealth, improving our knowledge of who we are and where we come from in order to face the future.